Hey guys, Dr. Morse, Injury Experts. Thank you for tuning in. We just watched a crazy ending to the Bucks-Cowboys game. Now the Bucks are no longer in the driver's seat and they need the Falcons to lose in order to get in the playoffs. Kind of a crazy ending to that game. Now, obviously, this is the semifinals for most people. This is a huge week. And we saw some fantastic matchups, some amazing games from many fantasy stars, and a couple disappointing ones as well, and a couple of injuries. Before I go any further, this video is sponsored by All Natural Relief. This is a all-natural supplement that is supposed to help with inflammation, pain relief, and to be all natural. So it is more of a protector of the kidneys and liver. You can find it at allnaturalrelief.net, available soon on Amazon. It is also available on Walmart. So let's talk about the biggest injury of the day in terms of impact. And unfortunately, that was Jalen Hurts. Not only did he suffer a concussion, he tried to come back in the game. It looks like, no, they wanted to bring him back to the locker room, which is usually a good idea. And eventually he was ruled out. Well, they were winning 21-7, I believe it was, when he left the game. They lost the game. So, unfortunately, that was a pretty big loss. I don't know if it's going to mess with seeding a whole lot, but there's a chance he misses next week, too, because there's about a 60 to 70% chance he misses. We've seen that consistently over the past year or two. The other quarterback that got injured today was Aaron Rodgers. He suffered what looked like a high ankle sprain. It's probably a mild one. If I were to guess, he's going to play through this, but definitely something to take into consideration. There were a couple running backs, big-name running backs, that got injured today. James Conner suffered what appeared to be a bone bruise and a possible PCL sprain. So when he did, he hyperextended that knee, smashing these two bones together, but also hyperextending that PCL. More often than not, a lot of guys will play through these, but they are done out of the playoffs, so there's a possibility he gets shut down for the last two games. Michael Carter, I believe, was in the game. DeMercado and Benson were both, I believe, injured and not available for this game. I know Benson was banged up with an ankle injury, so we'll have to see how that is for this upcoming week, which would be championship week for most people. Kenneth Walker, the other guy who obviously has been banged up himself, came back from a calf injury after missing a couple weeks and now suffers a new ankle injury. We don't have details, but reportedly he's going to get an MRI in the morning, which usually tells you it's more severe than mild. And they have a short week, if I remember correctly. This is one of those weird weeks. We have a couple games on Christmas. There's a game on Thursday. There's a bunch of games on Saturday. So Zach Charbonnet is probably going to be the guy, if I were to guess, and he's been incredible when he was on his own. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Justice Hill suffered a concussion in yesterday's game, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how long he will be out. Will Shipley, the backup for Saquon, also suffered a concussion. He will be, not really relevant per se, but it's something to keep an eye on. And then the biggest news from yesterday is Tank Dell suffering, at least initially reported as a dislocated patella, which can mean a bunch of different things. He was stabilized and eventually shipped to Houston, where he was released. Tells me that he didn't likely dislocate his knee. He didn't suffer a significant fracture, but he likely has at least a ligament tear, probably multiple ligament tears. I'm not ready to rule out an ACL, an MCL, or what we call the MPFL, which goes behind the kneecap and keeps it where it is. If he tore that, it would allow the knee to really sit laterally or medially, and that usually takes about 6 months after surgery to reconstruct. So we'll see how that plays out. CeeDee Lamb re-injured his shoulder again, but continues to push through. Drake London was adamant that he said he could return back into the game after suffering a hamstring injury, but we'll have to keep an eye on this. Could he potentially miss Week 17? It's possible. We'll have to see how he can handle practice this week. T. Higgins popped up with an ankle injury, but I didn't see any more than that. Shephard missed the rest of tonight's game with a hamstring, likely re-injury. He's been bothered by this for the last couple weeks now. And finally, Jalen Tolbert with a hand injury for the Cowboys. There'll likely be several more that pop up. We have a very short week. We have a game tomorrow night. Then we have 2 games on Christmas, which is Wednesday. So we're going to have to kind of make a video on Tuesday to kind of get you guys prepared for that. And then another game, I believe, on Thursday. So this is going to be a very strange week. I'll try to do what I can to keep you guys informed. If you like the type of content, do me a favor, smash a thumbs up, subscribe. If you're on Twitter and you're looking for injury reports, if you're looking for sit-start questions or other betting or other things, I started a subscription plan. I think it's like $2 that will give you some intel in that if you're interested in that type of thing. We will see you next Sunday, but we will give you a couple updates during the week. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck. I hope you win your matchups.